Thank you for staying with us. So, yeah. Thank you for staying with us. This is still Breakfast in Bed. We're talking about something very, very interesting in this month of June. June is Men's Mental Health Month. Mental health as a whole is a thing. I would say it's not talked about much in Nigeria. Yeah, people talk about it, but it's not talked about much in Nigeria. And now when we're talking about men's mental health, is also an important discussion that is it's not even talked much as the mental health. You know, we said mental health is not even talked much, and now men's mental health is not even up to the whole mental health discussion. And many men are dealing with a lot. We might not be experts on this topic, but I know as broadcasters, you have a bit of knowledge of every profession as a successful broadcaster. And you tend to see men, might be family members, might be colleagues, might be wherever close to you, that might not be necessarily happy with themselves because they feel the pressure of being a man is just too much. Society has defined what men should be and how men should react and the responsibilities of men. And you know, when you meet some other ladies and you say, well, the responsibility of a man these days can be shared. And then you say, no, I wasn't brought up that way. And then you put so much pressure on the man. How can men deal and preserve their mental health in 2026 going forward? Iboko, let me start with you. You're the lady here, so let me start with you.
Ladies first. Okay, so the first thing I would say is unlearn what you were taught in childhood. Unlearn it. You have to just unlearn it. And the reason I'm saying this is, you said it, society has already shaped how men should behave. So from age 2, 3, a child is crying and you say, don't you know you're a boy, you're going to be a man. You don't cry like a girl. So these are the issues, and then they've already been indoctrinated with that mindset. Even as teenagers, they're going through puberty, they're going through stuff, they're being bullied, and they don't speak up because they feel if you say you're being bullied, people will laugh at you, you're not even man enough, and you can't fight back. You can't. So because these have been learned over the years, men need to unlearn these things. That's the first thing. I think maybe you even need to be aware that that's an issue, that you've already been taught wrongly from childhood. Then you need to think of, what do I need to unlearn? Because thinking about men's mental health, I've been reading a few things, and not even just men's mental health, mental health in general. And the truth is, the way women stress is different from the way men stress because responsibilities differ. For men, you need men are seen as providers, protectors, and these require you to be more logical. You can't. It's not a lot of the emotional side. So, which means there's already suppression of the emotions, and men naturally are not the ones that are huggers. Hey, my guy, you just punch half an hour chairman, you're all hailing yourselves. Nobody wants to share what's going on. That's already a disservice to the man. But ladies, we meet ourselves, we are stressed, maybe not like men, we're going through a lot. Both of us, we've gone to the office. Me, I'm going back home to cook for my husband. My husband, the man is going back home, and his wife is saying, how far? I really money for school, money for this. So we are pressured, but in different ways. The man goes home and he buries his head in work, or goes to play tennis after and just drink with the boys.
For those that can afford tennis, yeah, it will be more of drink with the boys, yeah.
So they are gisting, laughing. He's not expressing his pain. He's not releasing the pain through conversations. But a lady is tired and she goes to the salon. Let's say she doesn't even have money to pay tennis either. And she's gisting. She's already telling her friends, I'm tired, I'm stressed. They're already hugging and saying, it's okay, you'll be fine. Why don't you try this? Why don't you do this? She's already letting off steam and gaining her balance. And then oxytocin is being released. So oxytocin is like the feel-good hormone, I believe. And so she's already relaxing. But the man went out, drank with the boys, laughed, just repressed his emotions, suppressed.
Gets back home on his bed, is there thinking?
Piling up. How much you hear that? Hey, the man very happy. Just to see him smiling, and that's how he fell and had heart attack. These are the realities. Men need to find escape routes. And as much as we say this, it means that society has a role. you people will be laughing at you. You say, hey, men cannot open up. Let a man open up. That's when you say, can you?
People will talk down. Casman, what do you think?
Now, the question I would like to pose to all of us and people watching at home is emotion gendered?
Is emotion gendered?
Yes.
Well, for me, I don't think emotion is gendered. But Nigerian society, African society, not just Nigerian, African society has gendered emotions. But
So it is a global thing, not just Nigeria. Not
really?
African. Yes, it is.
I would subscribe to it being global for blacks, even black Americans. I don't think it's global for whites or Caucasians. I don't really think so. But black, African, you must be. Why must you cry? So
exactly.
Yeah.
So that is why I had to ask that question. So as people will understand that both men and women feel all manner of emotion, be it happiness, be it anger, be it love, be it grief. We all feel all of these things. But when we feel them as men, we are told, oh, don't cry, just like you mentioned, be a man. And when we say society, the larger chunk of the society that actually tell men not to cry are men.
Oh, yes.
Let's be realistic with this. Women even want to see men being vulnerable with them, and even though there are so many nuances to this, men will be like, oh, if you open up to a woman that they're going to use against you, your vulnerability becomes their way to hold you and all of that, But at the same time, we should be able to express ourselves. When you need to cry, you cry. It's an emotion. You know be goat. Now human being you be. You understand? You're a human. Feel the emotions. And when we begin to suppress all of these things, we begin to build some level of room for us to act out of frustration sometimes because you don't speak up. So many things are going through your mind. According to New York Post, financial stress actually compounds to global stress to men and suicide.
Yeah.
So when they now start to think of family problems, girlfriend, everybody, rent, these things. There was a guy that died in the UK recently. He lives with his family in the UK. He has a child, 2 children, one for 6 and one for 2. He died out of stress, trying to provide. That is what I feel, because a co-worker who's coming to relieve him off of night duty for him to go home met him unresponsive. And according to the story, he is the sole provider. And then imagine living in the UK, being the sole provider for your wife, for your children. They are going to school, house, bills.
That's tough.
That's really tough. So the wife is a sit-at-home mom to take care of the children because they can't afford to get a help. You know how much it costs to get someone to take care of a nanny rather, to help your children stay home. So the woman had to do the staying home. He had to do the working. So probably he works different jobs, different times, and he was found unresponsive. Men need to start letting their fellow men to express themselves. We are the ones who cage ourselves and try to suppress ourselves. It is not women. It is not women. When men sit down and a man is trying to express himself, men laugh at that same man who is trying over bottles of drinks and all of that. But when we learn, just like you mentioned, I actually agree with you that whites, the almond-colored people, we don't call them white, actually feel free to express themselves. Even they make their children to understand that they have feelings. The male children, they can be able to talk. But just like you mentioned, here in Africa, people who are taken away, who are black Americans, black UK, British people.
I think it has to do with the skin color.
It has to do with skin color. Now look, when you take it back to the books written by Chinua Achebe, you see what Okonkwo did with the children. You must be a man. Okonkwo hated so many men who try to express emotion, men who try to show some level of emotion. They even tell them women should not be able to do some certain things. Men should, all of these things. When we start to gender emotion, it will get to a point where we now start to act out of frustration because nobody is listening to you. Sometimes Ibuku and Ibumi, you know how we talk. Sometimes 1 hour on the phone, 2 hours, we want to say some things, laugh, gist, talk about different things. Sometimes you need that. It must not be that you must find a solution, but just someone to listen to you, then
rant,
let out all of those things from your mind. It helps you to, free your head. Even though you still continue to talk about or continue to battle with those things, eventually to find solutions to your problem. But if you have somebody who can listen to you talk,
okay, so
it helps you a lot.
Thank you, guys. We need to run out of time.
Oh,
but then
Lord.
it's very important that
It is.
men should be vulnerable.
It is.
It's a gradual step. You can't just be vulnerable at once. Yeah.
In 10 seconds. Dear man, and anyone that loves a man, once a man who is naturally not an angry person and all begins to get so angry, frustrated, cranky, just know that depression is coming, and it could be that there's stress.
Yeah. Okay, so before we leave, very important, the general manager of Lagos Television, Kayode Oyekomi, today's his birthday. It resumed May last month. That was last month, so it's not even up to a month. And it's been doing wonders. I'm sure when you stepped in, you saw wonders, right? It's been doing wonders. So we need to appreciate, for me, I always say I need to appreciate people when I see them doing their job.
Yeah.
So a happy birthday from all of us, Breakfast in Bed. We wish you a happy birthday. Lagos Television also wishes you a happy birthday. All the best. And we wish you success in future endeavors. Thank you very much. Guys, we need to leave.
Yeah, we need to leave. Congratulations to him on his birthday. But please remember, men, the strongest men are not those who show weakness. The strongest men are those who find the courage to confront their emotions.
Thank you very much. Abike?
Okay, so for me, please, dear man, find somebody you can speak with. It might be difficult, but find one person to speak with, and you see how much pressure will be off you. So I wish you good luck.
Thank you very much. But for men too, June is men's mental health, so take care of your mental health. And remember, vulnerability is not a downside, but then it's a gradual step. But find the best of people to speak with if you ever want to speak with anybody, not just anybody, the best of people. My name is Bababumi Agbebi. Do have a fabulous weekend. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Fantastic. See you with flam, put it on your tongue, then flip it up like gymnastics.